Okay, today I'm just going to run through how quickly it is to proofread your inspection reports in this software. Essentially, there's two ways to proofread your reports. One, we have a full-on web editor, which is great. However, I've also got a fast editor. So that's conducted through the preview of the report. So essentially, I'm going to proofread this inspection report that I've done today, and I'm going to do it in the preview editor, which is to me, which is my preference essentially. Okay, so this is the job particulars that we've set up. I can see that the client has not paid yet, but they have signed their inspection agreement. I believe they probably have paid. I just need to check that up and then I'll update that to paid in full. Okay, so I'm going to preview this inspection report and then I'm going to start to proofread. So I open the preview up and let it load. Okay, so here's the inspection preview. This is a little bit like what the client will see, so I can jump to regions in the report pretty quickly. This is the online version of the report. So basically, I'm going to start scrolling through. All this is pre-formatted text. There are all the job particulars. So you can see the little edit button. So if I need to edit this, I can just deselect and select what's applicable. Okay. So I'm just going to scroll down, making sure everything's in order. My limitations. So there's all my visual limitations. Okay, so my walls were serviceable, the floors levels were taken, and I believe they were within tolerance. Undulation. So this is some of my pre-formatted narratives that come with the template. So essentially, I don't have to edit any of these. I can look at the pictures and have a quick browse, make sure they're in order. You can see the arrows. I've already done those on site with the Burst Shot app. So that's awesome. A lot of other software you've got to go in when you're editing, add your arrows, add your captions, etc. But with this inspection app on site, you can just drag the arrows directly. Okay, so I'm quite happy with these. These are all pre-formatted text, so I don't need to amend it. And the kitchen was serviceable, tile serviceable. Again, if I need to edit that and make it an additional comment, it's quite easily done just by clicking edit. My bathroom, vanity and sinks were fine, toilet was okay. Recommend a shower screen, door be installed. Okay, so that's pre-formatted text. Sealant is required. No need to amend. Can have a quick look. Okay. So you can see how I'm just scrolling through the preview of the report. And basically with my templates, you don't actually need to really amend too many of the narratives, okay, because I've pre-formatted them. The only time you might make an amendment in this report is if you've added something out of the norm that by chance isn't pre-formatted in my template narratives. Um, you can see here, so these are recommendations, washing machine cavity tiles, etc. Again, I don't need to amend anything because it's pre-formatted, but again, you could add to that narrative or you could amend it. Okay, so my insulation I'm happy with, that's my limitations. A couple of bad photos there, I'll probably delete those a bit later. That was my fault. Insulation was serviceable. External walls, they're my general photos that I've taken. Ground heights of covering damp-proof weep holes. So there's my narrative, so I don't need to amend it. But again, if I need to add to this, easily done. Windows need to be caulked. External roof, my limitations with solar panels. Pre-formatted narratives for limitations, so I don't need to touch those. flashings were serviceable, aged and deteriorated tile sealant. That's my narrative. I'm happy I've pre-formatted that. I don't need to amend it again. Cracked tiles, no need to amend. So once you know and you have used this template for some time, you'll know that these narratives are pre-formatted and pre-written where you don't have to amend. So in theory, if I was proofreading this report, I would be scrolling very quickly because I know that my narratives are already rock solid. So in the garaging, this was a little bit out of the norm today because essentially they'd converted this garage into a living area. So basically I added a new narrative on site, and that was in relation to the garage door. So internally there, they've installed an internal wall. This garage is not functioning anymore. So I just quickly wrote up a narrative, unable to determine the function of the door due to the internal alterations and an internal wall installed in front of the tilt door. So I can see I've left out a full stop there. Okay, so I want to edit it quickly. Done. Click save. And I'll keep scrolling. Okay, decks, pergolas, verandas. There was a pergola on site. It's not original. Needs a permit. Not sure if the vendors have obtained one. As a result, I've warned the client. So client needs to check whether there was a permit, and if it's under 6.5 years of age, the vendor more than likely has to get a 137B owner builder defect report. But there's the narrative for that, pre-formatted. So in theory, again, I'm just scrolling really quickly because I know they're pre-formatted. Site drainage, it required improvement. Okay, few photos, but the photo's already done, arrow's already in. So you can see here, fences were decayed, pre-formatted, no need to amend, but can if need be, very quickly. Utility, safety switch, smoke alarms, etc. Okay, water pressure was fine. Okay, conclusion. So other inspections, they're my default other inspections. I added solar on site because we've got solar panels here. However, if I've forgotten something or I need to deselect one, we can obviously add additional inspection requirements very, very quickly. High risk areas not inspected, so my furnishings, the insulation in the roof, solar panels, external roof, it was on a concrete slab and the garage internally had been converted. So they were limitations. I did those on site in the inspection app. I'm just running my eye over them now, but I already know they're correct. Overall condition for me was average for an older home, average, however, some minor maintenance and repairs required. So you can see how I've just really quickly proofread the report. Now, this report is the live report, so you can read it again if you like, but essentially you can complete these and proofread these reports really quickly, particularly with my narrative stack. I've put a lot of work into those, so I don't have to be amending things on site or when I'm proofreading. But essentially, that's how the process works when proofreading from the preview of the report. Now, I'm happy with that. Okay, so essentially, I can go back now. Okay, back to the inspection details. Now, once I update this to being paid, okay, I can then publish this report. Well, I can publish it now, but until I update that payment to being accepted or received, sorry, the client cannot view this report. So I'm going to publish it. So I'm happy with that report. Now, on the fly, when I click publish, it's going to send the client an email and a text message stating that their inspection report is ready for them to view in their inspection portal. So I'll send that. They will the client will receive notifications now, so they're going to be clicking on this pretty soon. But again, until I update that, even if the client goes into the inspection portal, um, they still cannot open the report. Now, I'll show you quickly what the client's going to see in their inspection portal. Okay, so these are the details of the inspection. Okay, so this is the client's dashboard. Okay, so you can see here I've got an additional service, CCTV inspection, so the client can actually learn more and add that as an additional inspection. Okay, so you can see still it's got here payment due, please pay. So this client may have already paid, I just haven't checked. But once I can confirm payment is been received, I'll go back in and amend that as been received. So you can see here, here's the client's link to their inspection report, but it does say make payment to unlock. Okay, so until that payment's been accepted, this can't be opened. As soon as that payment's accepted, they can click and view this report. I can see here that client has signed and initialed the agreement. You can click on that really quickly. That'll have all the client's details pre-populated. Yeah, so that's all in order. So that's the client portal. This is really handy. So you don't have to email pre-inspection agreements. You don't have to remind clients that they still have to accept agreements. It sends pre-notifications automatically when you set up the job to the real estate agents. It'll send the real estate agent also a reminder of the scheduled inspection 1 hour prior to the inspection. So that's all awesome features. In the client's dashboard too, just really quickly, we can see the order details. Okay, the documents, the pre-inspection agreements, invoices, etc. And if they need to contact us, bang. So this is a great little asset for your business because again, clients really look at this and love this feature as opposed to just having email correspondence, really old tech. This is pretty high tech really because again, clients receive this and think, wow, what an impressive system. So yeah, that's a very quick rundown. It was mainly about just to show you how quickly I can proofread reports with my templates. And I hope that helped today. Anyway, take care. Bye.